We're gonna keep this super, super simple. I use the same hair cutting system, whether it's a low fade, a mid fade, a high fade, whether it's straight hair or curly hair. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Appreciate you guys watching this video, man. Listen guys, whenever you do a cut like this, man, you're gonna wanna make sure that you keep the hair fully saturated at all times. Like if the hair is cut wet in some spots and halfway dry in some other spots, it's just not gonna come out even. It's not gonna come out right, man. So make sure that you fully saturate the hair. Since we're gonna need some length to be able to brush it out to the side and back, we're gonna elevate this up and off the head, right? And now if we start trimming it right here, up to the point where the hair meets his ear, right here where this hair line meets right about his ear, at this point now we can go ahead and keep the fingers tight to the scalp, right? We needed to elevate from here forward so there could be length for him to be able to brush back, right? But that's no longer necessary here as we're establishing the shape. So let's go ahead and wrap this line all the way around, this guideline. So the line that you're setting here at this point, this pretty much is telling you this is where I want my fade to end. Now you notice here, there's nothing to elevate on this side, right? This is a disconnected side part. You know, you can see the side part there. So that's why I'm gonna keep my fingers tight all the way up. So now I have this loose guideline that I can go ahead and follow. If you pick up just a few rows of hair at a time, and this step is only necessary, of course, if you are trimming the top, but you can notice here, you can see the short hair that I trimmed on the side already, right? Now we can take this straight across, and that's how you make sure that the trim on top isn't done too short. It can flow into the base that you set on the side. And if at any point you're doubting, you know, you can always drop the hair in front and you can kind of see the length of the hair behind it and keep picking up on that, so that way you make sure that you're not cutting anything too short or too long.
I'm trying to hustle, man. I'm trying to find ways to hustle. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Get into real estate events and stuff that's happening.
It's real, bro.
And get connected. But
so you guys have noticed how using scissor over comb, I was able just to soften that guideline just a little bit. Now this is in preparation so that way we can come up and off the head with the guard. So if we're talking about here using our number 4 guard, for example, right? Because that's what I like to use to debulk. I can run this guard up and off the head, right up to and through that guideline. So I've got the hair brushed in the style that I need it to. I can run this right here up and off the head. This is gonna pretty much get rid of the bulk. And at the same time, this is also establishing the shape, and it's making it easier for us to just be able to go in there and set our guideline. So again, like I'm gonna put this in right here, to and through the guideline, right? I'm not gonna give it a hard stop. I don't wanna put it in a whole nother line there. All right, I'm trying to kind of work on some transition here too. So we're gonna take this all the way around here. Now, if you've seen my other videos, like I said, no matter what the style, the steps are the same. So look, a debulk with the number 4 guard. So how do you guys think I'm gonna put in this bald line? I'm not gonna pull out my trimmer. I'm actually just gonna do it with my clipper, same machine. Right, I got the lever all the way closed here. Now he wants the fade to be like right in between a mid and a high. So I'm going right up to that corner. And I'm gonna take this all the way around. Now remember, the corner was the reference point for me. So I'm gonna wrap this line all the way around. And I'm gonna work to match the reference point. Right, now I can bring this thing back here. Now, a lot of YouTubers are gonna tell you, go ahead and do the bald line with the trimmers, and I'm not saying that they're wrong, but I am saying that it's more difficult to fade that line out. So if you guys are gonna be able to maintain efficiency, you know, it's why would you make it harder for yourself? This is a good reference point for your brain to tell you this is where the fade ends, this is where the fade starts. So, for the same reason, that's why I'm gonna take this half guard here. Other YouTubers are gonna tell you, you know, you could do the secondary guideline with the clipper open, and that's cool. That's also totally fine, but you know, you gotta remember, like, if we're talking about efficiency and making life easier for you, I think it's easier to fade from guard to guard than it is from guard to blade. So notice here, the secondary guideline is gonna be completely parallel to that bald line that we put in there. Okay. Cool. So primary line done, secondary line done. How am I gonna get rid of this weight right here? You know, you totally could go in with your 3 guard, your 3 open, 3 close, 2 open, 2 close. I'm actually gonna skip right here to the 1.5 guard, starting with the lever open, because if you have a soft enough touch and you have pressure at the bottom and you lighten your way up, right? You're always following the same motion, running this clipper up and off the scalp, starting here with the lever all the way open. You know, you can skip over your 2 and your 3 so you can efficiently give it a good blend. Now, if you notice that weight line that we were looking at is dramatically reduced already, right? With the 1.5 open. You know, and if you're looking at it from a parallel standpoint, it's literally like straight up and down motions like that, right? So cool, that's lever open. Now we can close this lever and we're working just below that. Okay, it's the same motion again, same exact motion again, but like I said, guys, it is just a little bit lower than what we did a moment ago. So now really all we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and return back again to that half guard that we were using, but this time just with the lever open. And this is really just gonna be to remove a little bit of the weight that the 1.5 guard close wasn't able to pick up on. We're just gonna be doing a little bit of work right up in here, touching up some of the dark spots that that may have been left behind with the 1.5 guard close. By the time that we're done with this step, guys, literally the only thing that's left is we have to blur away that very bottom bald line that we put in. And it's gonna be pretty simple. I'm gonna show you guys that right now. Now guys, the thing about taking this bottom bald line out, I remember it used to freak me out. Like I used to hate that point of cutting hair because I would be afraid like, man, this you know, mid fade is now gonna turn into a high fade. But look, here's the thing. You put this line in with the clipper closed. So let's push it up a little bit on that first notch. And we're just gonna move it up just a tiny little bit. Don't be afraid to remove some hair, because if anything, guys, you just have to remember, like, yes, the fade is gonna get higher, but it's also gonna get longer. That's why we're notching up, we're notching more and more open every time we go higher and higher in the fade. Okay, so I'm ready to go a little higher, so I'm gonna go a little longer. So guys, just keep this in mind, man. Like, it's okay. Like, yes, you are gonna push the fade higher, but you have to be ready to remove some hair. Look, now I'm all the way open. You have to be ready to remove some hair if you're gonna be able to blend all these things together. You know, if you're too compressed and you're too afraid to remove some hair, unfortunately, that's where your client leaves with a super bulky line at the very bottom of their fade, and it just doesn't look gradient. Hey, Charlie, he came in for you, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and repeat that step again, like notch open. Remember, again, I'm only doing that because we already did this notch closed. So that's why I'm on the first notch here. Now let's push that line up. And we're gonna push it up. And we're gonna push it up. And now we're all the way open. And guess what? We're gonna push it up. So yeah, again, just lock that in your head, guys. You will go higher, but it gets longer. When I do these videos, man, I just try to talk to myself as a younger barber. What kind of content do you consume for real estate, man? Like, I mean, are you going straight for the Grant Cardone content? Are you finding YouTubers and TikTokers?
Yeah, I'm just finding YouTubers that just sold their first deal, or someone that's been in it for a while, and they give you step by step to how to start out.
Yeah.
Just different ones I'll be following and stuff. And I try to get some idea and the right starting point. Does that make sense? To where to start at.
I wish there was like an easy like mentorship program to join. Like, we have a mentorship that we use, that we run for barbers. You know, it teaches them how to, you know, first find the right shop.
Yeah.
How to market, how to get the right kind of clients, how to scale up and charge more eventually. And now, by the way, guys, one of my favorite products that Tune 45 recently released is the sea salt spray. It gives it crazy good volume, and it just makes the hair easier to style. You know, a lot of people really like the powder, the clays, but I honestly think that sea salt spray is one of those things that's going to become super, super popular in the market for men styling their hair, man. Look, so I'd like to saturate the hair with it first. And once you comb everything into place, you know, it's real easy because someone can either let their hair air dry, but I'm a big fan of blow drying it and looking at the volume that it gives them. So let me show you what that looks like right now. You can see how well all of this is blending in together now, man. So for the most part, we're done with the clipper work. Now we're gonna go ahead and work in here with the trimmer. I like to comb this down and lift the style up and off the head. And if I could start here, upside down here with this trimmer, following the natural parting. Okay, I'm not gonna overplay my part. I'm not gonna push anything too deep. Lift this up. Same thing right here. I'm just gonna tap a few times, get the hair out the way. Bring this down, push this up, and just ride my trimmer right there along that separation. Now this applies to designs, this applies to parts. Every line has two sides. So now we can do the same thing and just very lightly tap on this side as well. Now this is not with the goal of making it wider, this is just with the goal of making sure we don't miss any details. We don't miss any hairs coming in. Very light tap. Cool. So now you can see how clean that part came out. Okay, so instead of me starting in this corner and trying to work all the way down to this corner, naturally, what motion is my arm gonna make? It's naturally gonna go down, right? So instead of working from here to here, let me go ahead and make my first cut right here in the middle. So you can get rid of whatever widow's peak it is that your client wants to get, the whole reason for them getting a lineup today. All right, so we're gonna hit this first. Now, some of you are gonna love this, some of you are gonna hate it, right? Some people do the front lineup, and some people just want to have the natural front, you know, and both are okay. So you're actually done with the tutorial already by this point. If your client likes the more natural front, that's totally fine, man, but there's different styles, right? So we're gonna hit this widow's peak, and now I'm gonna pick this corner to line up to, and now I can step back and make sure that that half is looking balanced. It's looking good. So now we're gonna go ahead and remove that widow's peak, and now we're gonna come to attack the other side as well. And it's not gonna be difficult. You literally just wanna follow the natural shape of the head, follow the natural shape of the hairline. Unless obviously in this case, like where you're removing a widow's peak, you know what I'm saying? So now this is where you can step back and really see everything and start making adjustments as necessary. And now what it comes down to is, remember, we started this fade here, all with the clipper all the way closed, right? So naturally the next lower point is gonna be with this trimmer. We can go ahead and remove everything below that. And this is gonna be the easiest way to be able to bald out. Now, you know, a lot of people in the comment section, they're gonna ask, like, why is it that some barbers leave this bulk at the very bottom? You know, they'll say, man, it just looks messy, it looks sloppy, that barber's being lazy. But I could tell you with certainty that doing the haircuts in the steps that I'm showing you today actually helped me keep my fades cleaner. You know, the way that I look at it is, if I bald out here at the very end, then I'm able to concentrate and give 100% of my effort to this area right here, which is the blend area. There's not a lot of effort that goes here into balding out. So if I can make sure that my fade is done, and it's done well, and it's done efficiently above this line, then we're good. You know what I'm saying? We have nothing to worry about. It's not like we let people walk out the shop with this. It's literally like a tool that just helps me concentrate, helps me focus on my blend. So yeah, man, leave a comment down below and let me know what your thought is on that. I've been getting really good feedback from a lot of you guys who've been using this haircutting system, so So I gotta make sure I keep it pushing, man, and stay consistent with these videos. Now, if you have a client that also wants like a skin tight finish, then you could follow up with your shaver, right? Come right underneath that line that you just did with your trimmer, and you could follow up with your shaver, right? Whether that's your double foil, single foil, a brawn, or whatever. And this is the finished product right here, guys, man. Thank you so much for sticking around for this tutorial. Definitely appreciate you guys, man. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever else you guys want to see, let me know.